We are live.
Morning.
Morning, everybody. This is Ski, and we got John here. And we're going to be working on the showing you guys firsthand the contrast spades. I'm going to be going on a palette and showing you how it looks like on a regular palette. We're using one computer for all of our audio and face-to-face, and then we're using another computer for the drop-down, so you can see it. So what I'm going to start doing is we're going to go over and I'm going to start opening up some of these contrasts and show you how it looks like on paper, and then we'll go from there.
What color do you want these?
This way, like half and half or something.
All right.
But yeah.
All right, give me a second. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. So I got to test these firsthands yesterday at one of our local games workshops, and it was great. There's some colors that I personally think are going to be amazing. There'll be other colors that I think they'll work really well, but I might not use them, but I'm probably going to have them anyway. I'm just a paint guy. I love paint. All right, so on this palette, hopefully you guys can see it on the screen. Let's see here. I'm going to show you the color. So this is the Militarium Green. I'll open this up. Be very careful because these pots can be spilt over or whatnot, and so try not to spill them over like we did, with like agros or shade stuff. Grab some on my brush. I'm just going to show you how it looks, the consistency of it. Nice, and this is just nice. One little brush load. Let's get a better picture. There we go. Back off. Yeah. So I mean, nice. It's thick, but you can move it. So it's not like the washes and stuff where it's just like you have no control besides like sticking your brush in it and cleaning it, pulling the paint out with your brush. But that is the green. So nice little camo green-ish look. I think it's gonna come out really good models. And we'll keep with the greens. So there's that one. We'll go with, let's see, we've got Plague Beer Flesh, we've got Orc Flesh, we've got Warp Lightning, we even got a Creed Camo. So let's do Creed Camo because that's camo shade. Let's pull this out. Oh, nice dark color. I'm gonna put some on the palette, and then I'm just gonna spread it out so you can hopefully see the color. I thin this out a little bit, and I'm not adding any water to any of this. I'm just dipping my brush in and just thinning it out. Yep. And so that's nice and dark camo green. So it's this Creed Camo. So it's a darker, it all reminds me of almost like a Dark Angels green, maybe, possibly. Very dark, but it has that green. So maybe a transition between Wall Flesh and Dark Angels green. But let's do some Orc Flesh now. Let's see how this looks. My brush. Ooh, a nice, more vivid green. More, it's a more of a green, dark green. So this is more maybe Dark Angels green. Just look at that. And I'm able to move the paint. That's what's nice about this contrast paint is I can move it. I can play with it. I can manipulate it. I can do whatever I want with it. Next, we're going to do is that, and that was the Orc Flesh. And next is the Plague Breaker. This is actually, I got to play with this yesterday. I actually really enjoy this. I think it's going to be great on a lot of models. Here we go. There's a little bit of my brush. Yeah, look at that green. That nice yellowish green, plaguey green. I mean, it's going to be great. John right now is out there priming some models. So disclaimer, we're priming models with Corex White, some Ashton Middleton Gray, and Lead Belcher. There's some cool things I was shown yesterday from an individual at our local games workshop named Zach. And the Lead Belcher, I'm going to show you guys firsthand how it's going to look with contrast paint over top of it. And I am excited for it. It's going to solve a lot of my problems. But this is the Plague Bearer Flesh. Right now, so the other two primers we haven't got in yet. We're waiting on them. They should be sometime today. Hopefully while we're doing this, they come in. We'll get some other models primed. I think the Corex White is, a lot of people are wondering, how is that going to react to the contrast paint? And we've seen pictures of the bases with different whites on it and whatnot. I don't think it's going to be an issue. I think they'll work just fine. This is Warp Lightning. I really dig this Warp Lightning. Nice, vibrant green. Like it's that Warp Lightning green. I think it's going to be great. And me doing this on the palette too is going to really help if you get all your contrast paints or your paints in general, and you're like, oh, I don't know what greens to use or how the shades are going to look and whatnot. This, putting it on a palette or even having a color wheel will kind of show you, but with this new contrast paints, it really shows you all the greens. Like so you can see it firsthand, like, okay, what green do I want to go for? So those are all the greens, and make sure there's no other greens. Or greenish. There is a blue-green, I believe. Let me find it. That's a gray. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna transition to this. This blue is really amazing. I really enjoy it. So it's Achillean green, but it's like a blue. So we'll see how this looks. It's gonna surprise you right next to the screen too. It's so dark. Look at this. Just pulling that paint out, how nice that color is. Excuse me. Look at that. Look at that blue. So it does have a little bit of a green into it. Pull those back. All right. Let's go for the next one. Turquoise. Pterodon turquoise. This is great. This is another great one. Look at this. And all I'm doing is manipulating it and pulling it out with my brush. Thin it down. Nice. Of course, you don't need to do this when you're putting it on the model. You just slap it on. I suggest to have more control, use the right brush for the right job, of course. Look at that. So this is a lighter with a green in it. This is a darker blue with a green in it. Let's see what else. Grays. Gray. There's a blue. Another blue. We'll do that one next. Blue. Lots of blues. Different variations of blue, by the way, too. Really nice. Oh, I forgot a green. So we do have a Dark Angels green. I didn't see it. We did, but let's throw it on there. Stick it on the palette. Look at this. Now look at the darkness. Dark Angel green. It is what it says it is. Dark and a green. The angel part, I can see it, Dark Angels being chaos and all, but look at that dark green. Just pulling it out with my brush, just to show you how much green, how dark that is. So again, another great paint. So it's greens. So back to the blues. So pull this off. Just keep this right here. Right about there for right now. All right, so then we're going to do the Ethermatic Blue. Now, I used this yesterday as well, and I was impressed. The applications for all this stuff is going to be great. I think this is a good thing to Games Workshop's doing to help people get their armies on the table. Look at this. Some paint. Look at this blue. It almost reminds me of the oxidation blue.
Mm-hmm.
Just grab some more because of that. Yeah, very thin blue. A green blue, but very thin down. Then we're gonna go with, let's go with this blue. So this blue, I enjoyed this one too. Nice and bright, vivid blue.
Very similar to the Gilliman Blue Glaze.
Yeah, which reminds me, I'm buying out all your glazes. just to tell you right now, I buy them all.
Okay.
So if you want any, you might want to grab some yourself because the yellow glaze.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
I know it's hot.
Yeah. So
I had somebody try to order 6 from us, and we're like, we don't got 6, dude.
wait, you have some in stock?
I've got like 3 or 4 left.
Okay, good. It's good to hear.
Yeah, people are snacking it up.
Yep. All right, so this is the Valladon blue. It's a darker blue. Almost like a purple blue. I just left it the way I can manipulate it with my brush. A great initiative. There's another company I'm waiting for their paints to come out. Can't wait for them to come out.
Yes.
So I just think between all the paints I own,
Yeah,
I'm gonna be able to do anything I want, really.
pretty much.
As long as they stay good, I guess. Let's see here. I told them about the primer that we don't have the other 2 primers in right now.
They're coming.
Yeah.
Today, in fact. We got 12 of each can coming.
This darker blue, it's more of a settle dark blue, and it's the ultramarine blue. It actually looks really good on the models. It really transparent. It really shows that ultramarine blue. So those are, I guess, the blues. Going to the grays, maybe.
I don't know. Are those right?
Yeah, I guess these are just the grays.
I don't know what Wildwood is. It's kind of
It's a brown.
brown. Okay.
It's a brown. Spaceful blue for all you Spaceful players. It is a very dark-ish blue, at least on the palette. It's like a gray black-ish blue. Like it's.
That might be the color I need. Not sure.
But again, depending on the primer you use, these react differently.
Correct.
We got some people on it right now. Is there an orange to this set? Oh, let me see. Let me see here.
Let's see here. Yeah, well, oddly enough, there is.
Yeah, let me grab another piece of palette. Clay Cruz. Let me do this real quick.
Let me get all these browns and. There's actually a couple that probably could be.
I do know I tried a pink and a yellow yesterday on top of each other. It turned out a nice orange. So let's see. All right, so we have a Griffin Hound orange. Let's see how this turns out. Load up my brush. Let's see here, make sure I'm on screen. Let's just put it right here. So this is a very reddish orange. The thinner it's on, like maybe for your highlights and stuff, you'll see more of the orange. Let's see here, just pull this out some more.
Maybe this.
So that's Griffin Hound.
Dark with flesh might be a darker orange.
Just show you kind of the consistency. It almost looks like a brown in a bottle, but it's not. Just to let you know. Don't assume what the bottle looks like is what the color is either. And then we've got
That might be
the flesh, the dark oath flesh. Let's see how this looks. Is there a Fire Slayer flesh? Let's see that one too.
Yeah, there is.
So this is dark oath. So there's your brownish red. So this is almost like a Reclam flesh.
Yeah.
Almost, but more on the brown side than the red side.
This is going to be a little bit more on the brown red side.
All right, and then we've got the Fire Slayer side. So, hello, I just tried some mixing with the contrast paints. Try out a mix of 1-to-1 with orc flesh and in yellow. Add some drops of lemon medium. You will get a nice green yellow for plague flesh. Nice. It's good to know, Neos. Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to be awesome. Is the things people are going to be doing with this.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be months and months of experimentation with this.
Okay, so this is Fire Slayer's flesh. So it's more of a red. There's more of a red pigment in it. It looks like to me, maybe a red brown.
So it looks like the orange to go with is Greyhound orange.
Yeah.
And if it's still a little too red, then you can mix in some of the yellow, I'm betting, to brighten it up a bit.
Let's go to these yellows real quick. We'll go back to the grays after we do a couple more yellows. So this is Ayanda. I'm always bad at saying these things.
That's all right.
So this is your orange yellow. So you can see where it pulls up, it's really dark up in this area. But when it thins down, look at that yellow. It just gets more and more yellow, which is amazing how the transition is from where it pulls up in this area where you see that red, and when you thin it out, it starts drying and it has that nice yellow highlight to it. Clay Cruz, I have a side project trying to find shortcuts to do a raise a color scheme on AdMech.
Well, that sounds right there. That's
Isn't that orange? It's not a dry brush.
Like a red orange.
Yeah, Riser Rust.
Yeah, like a rust color. I don't know. You might actually end up mixing. I'm just taking a peek here. You might end up trying to mix the contrast, or like do a double layer. Like do one layer, say Blood Angels red, and then hit it over it with what's this, Nazdrag yellow?
Nazdrag yellow. Yes, is it like a brown yellow?
So I'd go with the Ayendan yellow over maybe the Blood Angel red. This is something you're going to want to definitely experiment with, because there's 34 contrast paints, and I don't know how to do the math on it, but you have that many combinations.
Yeah,
a lot. There's a lot of combinations. I'll let you math guys figure that out. But there's so many different variations that I think you're going to be able to pull off with this.
Yeah, so the two different yellows, one's a red yellow, one's an orange or brown yellow. Sorry for the coughing, guys. I have like a little chest congestion today. Let's go back to the grays real quick.
All right, so the first one up is going to be Griff Charger gray.
Yeah, put this back up here.
So while he's doing that, let me give you guys all a little heads up with these contrast paints. Something I noticed as I was processing them all yesterday. Unless you're going to say something.
No, go ahead.
So these have been sitting in the warehouse since about the end of November, beginning of December of last year. That's how long they've been sitting on these. And in some cases, the contrast paint or any of these new paints that are coming out, which is like 165 new paints total, not just the contrast coming out Saturday. They will have kind of there'll be some separation from the chemicals inside of it, or there might be some sediment on the bottom. So just have it in your mind that you're gonna have to shake the crap out of these. You might have to take a stirring stick or mixing stick, or I always take a piece of plastic sprue and about the size of an eraser. I always toss it in a pot of paint as an agitator. I just want you guys to be aware that it might need a little bit of mixing. Actually, no, it'll probably need a lot of mixing. So I don't want people like, oh my God, this is the crappiest paint ever. It's not doing what I want. Now you're gonna have to do a little bit of like maybe a minute at most out of your time to get it shook up and ready for use. Just be aware of that. Don't go all doom and gloom and, oh, GW sucks, blah, blah, blah. This stuff's been sitting in the warehouse waiting to come to us all this time. That's how long they've been building at stock levels. So just be prepared to
Mix your paint.
mix your paint, which you should be doing in the first place. So you have to take maybe an extra 30 seconds to do it. But like I said, you guys all have like probably hundreds of sprues laying around your house, and your wife, girlfriend, husband, whatever, pissed off because it's like they step on it like Legos. So just grab some of those sprues, clip it off about the size of an eraser head. Doesn't it be jagged edge, it doesn't, whatever. Toss it in the pot, always use that as an agitator. It really helps.
Yep. And if you don't like to go that route, you can always go onto Creature Caster's website. They sell some amazing glass agitators. And the reason they use glass, and I didn't really realize this, even with stainless steel, they do not rust. Stainless steel does still rust over a great period of time. So
there you go.
The glass beads is pretty much the way to go.
Another option, I definitely like that option because I remember you can get a lot.
Yeah, I have 2 or 3 bags that I put in every single one of my GW paints, and I have the whole line.
Yeah.
And that's not including their paints, Monuments paints, Games Workshop paints, Vallejo, Army Painter, and P3 and Reaper. Like, I have so many paints.
So yeah, you can go to their website, go to creaturecaster.com, take a look at their paint section, and just find the little glass beads.
Yep.
So I would prefer that route instead of always. The only thing I'd be worried about, I haven't seen it yet because I don't like dig my finger in my pots of paint, but maybe there could be a paint buildup with the different jagged edges of the sprue chunk that I tossed in there. So just think about that, having that glass bead in there might be a lot better for you.
And something else, if you guys haven't done it or haven't done it, we're not just here, promoting Creature Cast. We're here to show you the contrast, but at the same time, it's all about brush cleaning and keeping your paints good. And Gentastic's Drunken Brush Group, it's amazing stuff. I have switched to this now over, is it the Masters or what is it?
Yeah, whichever one.
Hobby Lobby,
yeah.
Whatever. It's horrible. This stuff does everything. I've saved so many brushes and I use this all the time. Just like right now, I wanted to clean my brush so I can show you guys real colors without any kind of like backfill from any other color in my ferrule. So I suggest that they sell this too. It's all handmade and it works great. So right. So what we're doing here, this is the Basilium Gray.
You get a chance to make sure. Oh, you'll get a chance. Make sure you show bloody George because it looks like Kevin might be. No, it's not Kevin.
No, it's not Kevin.
No, he was interested.
Kevin better be working.
Oh, that's right.
He better be.
Better be.
Yeah. All right, so that is that gray. I'll get a new piece of paper out. So this gray is like a black gray. So don't confuse it with the black. I've used the black. I'm excited for the black now. So stick that on top of here. Grab another piece.
And I would recommend to you guys, don't get the synthetic hair brushes. The actual natural horsehair style brushes are going to work. I think are going to work best for this because it's going to help absorb that contrast paint, and you won't get the. Sometimes I've noticed that you can get streaks with those synthetic brushes. So I know a lot of people like to try to save some money and go to Walmart or Hobby Lobby and get the, I don't know, 32 pack of brushes where you're only using like 3 or 4 brushes out of there, but it's like $9 or something. Yes, that's good, but you are spending already a good amount of money on the paint, on the miniatures, and you're wanting to have something fantastic looking. Don't skimp on the brushes. Get a couple, like 3 or 4 brushes. Go ahead.
Okay.
Get about 3 or 4 brushes and that are quality. I'm not saying you have to spend like me where you go get like a $20 brush, but you can spend $5 on a brush or a couple brushes, and you're gonna have a better quality paint job than you are with those crappy brushes.
And a caveat on that too, you spend the money on good brushes, make sure you clean your brush before you use it, and make sure you get good brush cleaner while you're using it, or you're gonna ruin it right away.
Yes.
All right, so I just put down, that is Blood Angels Red. So it's a really good paint, enjoyable. I enjoy that word one. Next one we're gonna do is Flesh Tearers Red. Now the Flesh Tearer Red, I really enjoy this one. This is, if I ever do a Blood Angels army, it's going to be Flesh Tearers. Of course, there's some, the second founding or forbidden founding, or who cares what founding, but yeah, I like this red.
While he's putting that down, let me throw something else out there. So we've said before that the Forge World paints are coming out with this whole line. It's part of that 165 paints. So when you get to your store, when you come by Atomic Coffee Shop this weekend, and you're like, "Where's the Forge World paints?" They're there. What Games Workshop and Forge World has done is to put everything underneath the Citadel logo. So there won't be a Forge World paint anymore. It's now just Citadel paint. So don't freak out. It's the same paint. It's just now the new logo.
So is it the same container?
It's in the same container as all the rest of the line.
So it's no longer the Forge Roll pots.
No longer the Forge Roll pots.
And so they kept like the Grey Knights, is it Grey Knight Blue or something like that, or
Grey Knight Steel?
Yeah, Grey Knight Steel.
Yeah.
Okay.
All that Grey Knight Steel. I want to find a reason to use it.
And the black that they have for Forge Roll Black is a very good flat Obsidian black.
Yes, that's the Corax Black.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I'm super excited about some of these.
It's like 2019 is the year of paint.
I guess so.
Because it's you got Forge Roll, you got Games Workshop, you've got Monument / Creature Caster, you've got some new stuff coming up from Army Painter, I think, as well.
Another thing that got to give you guys a heads up when you do come in to look at those paints at Atomic Coffee Shop. The edge paints are going away. They're just being renamed into layers. So the logo is going away, and it's just going to be a layer. It's just a branding thing. It is not. They didn't change anything except for the label. That's it. So there's no confusion. Like, well, what's an edge compared to a layer, compared to a beige, and a technical blah blah blah.
Well, and I'm going to answer that even though they're changing it. An edge paint versus a layer paint. It's thinner, but not thin enough to be a wash, and it's just for edging, highlighting.
Yeah,
it's for.
But it's brighter.
Yeah, it's so much brighter. Intensity is much more higher.
What
I just dropped down is Volupus. I can't even say it. Volupus pink.
At first, when I saw that, when I was typing it in, I started typing voluptuous.
Oh, voluptuous.
And I was like, that can't be right. And I had to look at the label again.
Yeah, and the texture paints are technical.
Yes.
Yes.
They're all technical paints now. Sterling Mud is back, but what's not back is the Lustrian Undergrowth.
Oh, that was one of my favorites.
Yeah, at least I didn't see it. I could be wrong. There is a couple new technicals. So all the like Lamy Medium is now the big 24 milliliter bottle.
Okay, that's nice.
Which one are you doing?
This is Magos Purple.
Magos Purple.
Magos.
Kind of a. That's nice. So Lamy Medium, anyways, is back to it's at a 24 milliliter bottle. Their Art Coat is 24 milliliter bottle also. So the big bottles. There's a new one, and I forgot what it does. It's called Storm Shield.
Yes, that's the matte.
That's the matte.
That is matte.
Matte varnish. Okay.
Yep.
So instead of Art Coat, which is shiny, Storm Shield is matte.
Yep.
Awesome. And pretty much all those technicals, they basically just got a new label, but they were redone. That's part of that whole 165 line. A bunch of layer paints have now made it to air.
Oh, nice.
When I was going through that list, I was starting to realize it's like why is this is supposed to be a layer paint? This is a layer paint, and now they're airs, and all the airs are the 24 milliliter bottles too. So I think they realized, or they had said they realized that people were not getting much value out of their air paints because there wasn't that much in the pot. That's why they doubled the size.
This is the Saish purple, very dark purple.
Ooh, it is.
Very, very dark.
Let's see, what else did I notice?
Let's see. And I'm saving the black and white to last. And it's not really a white. I mean, I'm going to put this out here right now. I've used this, and it's not really a white.
It looks like Celestra gray.
It is a gray, but it dries. Certain areas it dries more white than others, obviously.
Well, I think that'll be good to drop down on the model, and then you can come back over and pick up highlights. That's usually when I paint white, I generally use Celestra gray as my base.
Or palette witch flush.
Or palette witch flush, and I build up from there. Just because white is so difficult to work with, except for the Monument paint.
Gosh.
The Monument's bold titanium white.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Jason. Thank you so much for creating that paint.
Oh, that's such a great paint.
Yep. What we got here? This is Gilliman flesh. So if you ever want to know what color his flesh was or is, this is it, guys. This is Gilliman's flesh. He must have been sapping it through him while he was, in stasis, or taking his skin and making it pigment, So it's like it's a red, a mild reddish brown. Oh man.
Let's see. Finally, GW got rid of ceramic white. Yes, they got rid of the ceramic white base paint. They have replaced it with Corax white. Now the Corax white, this is that whole caveat I told you guys about. Just be prepared. You might have to mix. I was a little concerned because it was a white base paint. I think that's one of the Forge World line. So I cracked it open. It was a little gooey. Once I put an agitator in there, give it a good shake, it came out to a regular consistency. So just be aware, but I didn't see any of that drying that I normally saw with ceramic white. You used to be able to just like pick up a bottle of ceramic white, shake it a couple times, you hear a couple of hard thuds.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And you knew that the paint was ruined. So just be prepared, like I said, with all these paints, even the airlines, you're gonna have to shake them good. And you might, like if you have an old brush, jam that old brush in there, use that as a stirring stick. And if you don't already have stirring sticks,
and that you throw on some was it Taylor Swift or something? Shake it, and then just go to town.
If that's your jam,
I think the song's great. So you know what, go for everybody that listens and likes it. Go for it. What I just put on there was Agaras dunes, which is like a very yellowish brown flesh type color. I don't know. I like it.
No, can't read your names. Neos?
Neos?
No, I've never tried those brushes, but definitely will take a peek at it. I've already, I'm going to be ordering some of the Monument Hobby brushes. Usually I like the Citadel brushes, but I want to go ahead and branch out because I've got double of every Citadel brush there is.
And I'm using right now is Monument's Bombwick artillery brush. It's a number 2. So
I mean, even though I love Games Workshop and Citadel and everything, and I'm a big supporter of all their product line, it doesn't mean that I don't shop outside.
I use it in everybody's stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of tools to put in your toolbox.
Yes. And being a veteran, I like having tools in my tool belt.
Yes.
All right, what we got? Gore-grunted fur.
Gore-grunted?
Might have to start repainting freaking iron drones. Oh man, that's like a Bristol brown, but a red in it, a dark.
Ooh, that's kind of nice.
How rich that is.
It's got a nice palette.
Where is, did I not do it? Snake bite. Oh, there it is. I see it. Okay, yeah, that's another one. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
So that's going to be toward the end too.
Okay, so let's say that one's the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best for last. Well, in my opinion.
No, that's fine. I mean, snakebite leather is always a great one. I haven't used it because today is actually our first day, well, my first day of cracking these open. We just got them in yesterday. Ski got a little firsthand yesterday.
Yep, yesterday.
So what we do know about putting these through an airbrush, first off, do not use water. Don't use water to thin it down or anything. These things will have a difficulty going through an airbrush because they are thicker. And they weren't designed, at least that's from one of the product testers that we know. He had said that it's not designed for airbrush, is that correct?
Yeah, but I think he said that you don't have an issue with it.
You can still push it through.
Yeah.
Just be aware that it's going to be thick, and you're going to have to adjust probably your pressure to
maybe add just a couple drops of flow through, maybe.
Yeah, and they do have a contrast medium. That's one of the other technicals that have come out. It's in the 24 milliliter bottle, so you can add that to there. I mean, that's specifically designed for the contrast paints. So try that before you use flow improver or anything. I would just be cautious, but it should go through.
Okay, so this is crazy. The Sigor brown, really dark, but when you spread it out, it gives you that nice.
It's almost like almost looks like Rhinox high.
Rhinox, yeah.
I think you guys will notice that some of these paints, I mean, they look like a lot of the base paints, and I think, it's probably deliberate. They want base colors.
Yeah. I think this would be an easy way to get things based.
Yeah, like Blood Angels Red is probably very similar to Mephiston Red. Flesh Terrors it looks very similar to Corn Red. A slight change in the tint, but.
Ooh, this is Skeleton Horde, which, okay, I love how they come up with these names, but you know how such hard time going, all right, I got red. What's the next red? Oh, it's going to be Blood Angels Red versus Flesh Tears Red, then Corn Blood Red, and then Waza Red, and Silver Sun Red. I'm like, okay, can we just say bright red, light red, dark red, red?
Yes.
Orc red? I don't know.
That almost looks like, and I'm a little disappointed. I'm sorry, Games Workshop, I'm a little disappointed you did not bring back this color. It almost looks like Devlin Mud.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I mean, it's a little brighter.
Oh, just wait though. You haven't seen Snakebite Yellow.
Oh, okay.
Snakebite Leather yet.
I'm a little disappointed. I mean, Devlin Mud was the best seller when the washes first came out.
Gosh.
I mean, Magic Mud, everybody.
It's sepia.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It was like, oh, I'm painting a white model. Let me hit it with some Magic Mud. What?
Yeah, right.
How would you use Devlin Mud? Oh my God, that looks amazing.
Yeah.
I told you.
All right, next one is Wildwood. So this is probably gonna be a dark brown.
Oh, there is a new technical basing paint that I saw. Actually, there's two new ones, but I can't remember the other name. But one is called Mordant Black. It is a black crackle. If you guys aren't familiar with crackle, whenever you lay it down, you have to put it down pretty thick, but as it dries, it cracks.
And they probably brought that out for lava.
I think so. So if you're not used to using that type of texture paint, make sure that you always want a color to pop through the cracks. So you lay that down first, and then you put the crack after it dries, put the crackle on it. It looks really good. And I think you're right. I think that's where you're going to get that lava effect from.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to bring out another piece of paper for the last three. These are probably my three favorites.
One of them is definitely I'm actually going to use today.
I'm gonna let John do this. I'm gonna take a quick break.
Okay.
Since I got to play with all of them besides the three, and since I've already used the three,
okay,
we're just go for it. All right. I'll be back, guys. I'm gonna grab my drink and go. Clamp my nose.
Yes, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
All right. So while he is getting cleaned up there, let's go through. Let's do Snakebite Leather. All right. This is the one a lot of people have been talking about, and I see why. It's probably going to be one of the more popular of them. All right, so trying to be just as good as Ski and laying this out here. That's like a very rich brown. I would almost say that's the consistency of how if you were to take, like usually when I do like leather, I use, goodness gracious, what is it called? It's a brown, Mornfang brown, and then I will put a Agrax Earthshade wash over it usually, and to get like a richer, almost natural like leather brown. And this looks like it's a combination of the two, which kind of makes sense because they were talking about these basically like 2 or 3 steps are involved in this. All right, what am I doing, Clint? What are you? I see you're trying to get your flight. Trying to go through as fast as I can. I got just 2 more to go. 2 more, buddy. Looking at the hams. I don't know what that means, Clint. Okay, so up next is Black Templar. Wow. Are you guys seeing this? Holy crap. That is a nice black. I mean, that's like using no, it's like a watered down Abaddon black. That is nice. That's going to go on real nice. Spread that out a little bit here. Holy crap. I like that. All right. So let me hurry up and get this last one so Clint can relax. I'm guessing that you're flying back here. So, all right. So this is the one I'm really looking forward to. And it's what I suspected. This is the Apothecary White. Oops, I got a little bit of brown on my brush. Crap. Let me try to get that cleaned up really well there. Sorry about that. Let me do that again. All right. So the Apothecary White goes on gray, but I can see as it smooths out that, yeah, that's really nice. I mean, I didn't expect it to be a 100% white paint, but I have a feeling once I put it over certain colors, it'll definitely look white. And Celestial Gray really normally is a really good one you want to use to use as a base coat for white in the first place. So this is a good thing because now I can go back through, because I plan on doing a lot of white in my next army. I'll be able to use this as my base instead of, because I'm going to be doing mixing colors like half and half. So this is really going to help out getting that done. And then I can go back through and hit it up with highlights with like White Scar. Interesting. Oh, Ski is back. And no, that's it. We got through the last 3. I am definitely impressed. Okay. I really want to. We're not gonna be, even though we just kind of like did these all in the palette. Actually, Ski and I, we've got about an hour and a half-ish before I've got to crack open the store. So we've got a variety of miniatures here. We're gonna go ahead and try out. We've actually had a couple people send us messages like, "Hey, could you try out this color? Can I see what this looks like over this?" So what I'm going to be doing is I've got a Space Marine that's with Leadbelcher. I'm going to give him a test try. I'm just going to pick probably Blood Angels red. Some people were interested in that. And I'm also going to do, I've got another one that's primed white. And, excuse me, I'm going to use a couple colors, including the Apothecary White, to see, because the color scheme I'm going for is like blues and whites. So we're going to see how that actually works. Clint, fly safe. I know you don't like to fly, but be safe, man. We'll see you when you get home.
Oh, he's leaving, huh?
Yep, he's coming back from the Carolinas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, come back in one piece.
Please, because you owe me money.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Show me the money. All right, let's see here. I get the pallets. So, okay.
let's see. Yeah, we got about an hour and a half. So we're going to test out a couple colors here and see what happens. So yeah, I'm going to be doing.
You can move the camera.
Oh no, it's all right. You can. It's quite all right.
Because we can go like this. So it's all about painting more comfortable. Then the camera can adjust to you. So there you go.
So, yep, got a guy that's lead belcher.
Too much light.
Oh, there we go. That's better. Cool. I don't know if it's focusing well there. Autofocus. All right. So then I've got another gent that is primed Corax White, the regular current primer, spray can primer. I know some people have problems with this. Corax White, it's really to get it to be effective. As Steve looks for a color here.
No, go ahead.
The best way I've found to use it, because I live here in Houston, we've got humidity issues and whatnot. The model and the can, they need to be in the same environment, same room temperature, everything. And you shake that crap out of that can. That's turning it upside down, spinning it around. Shake it. If it says shake it for 2 minutes, you shake it for 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. And then usually I just go to my door, I crack open the door and I spray out. So the fumes go out and I'll rotate, spray again, and then bring the model in, let it dry. If I miss some spots, I'll go back out. I'll just simply repeat the process. It's just something you got to really take into account with your environment and cans like the Corax White, because that titanium in it, it's almost drying instantly when it comes out. So you need to be a little closer than the recommended, I think 10 to 12 inches, they say.
Well, and so I'm going to caveat on that after watching a live feed last night with Mr. Jason himself. He's getting ready for a tournament in Las Vegas for Malfo Hordes, whatever it is.
Nice.
So he's doing his trolls.
Okay.
So you know how good he paints. And he's like, oh, this is just my basic painting, and it looks like freaking amazing, right? Well, he goes and he gets these 3 cans, and I'm not gonna. I'll tell you the company later because I don't like bashing. Like he doesn't like bashing companies either. But it's the first time he's actually bashed probably in a very long time. And so he takes his cans, and he's in Arizona, Phoenix, so the humidity is like almost none. And he's been painting miniatures for 20 plus years. Like this isn't his first rodeo. So he goes out, gets all of his trolls, he gets a test maul, he's varnishing them. And he knows how to use a rattle can, you know, it's not hard. And one side it's supposed to be this ultra matte, it's supposed to be matte. Turns out gloss in the front. So he's like, oh, it's not a big deal because you can use testers, dull coat to get rid of that. So it's okay, it's still protective coat, whatever. So then he goes and he turns the model around and he starts spraying. He lights all his models up and starts spraying this varnish, and it frosted all of them. And I'm not talking, you know, like, oh, he doesn't know how to use an air can or nothing like that. So he does it on one. He opens up another can. It happens again. He opens up a third can. Happens again. Then on one of his models, half of it was frosted, half of it was glossed from the exact same can. So everything was separated in these cans, or the product is just bad. And the reason it frosts, and people don't know this, is because the air particles are drying in air. Like the paint or the varnish, whatever, is drying in air. So when it hits your model, it creates that frost. So that's where everybody's like, oh, I have problems with freaking white and this, that, and the other. And so it's frosty. I don't have any problems with my white when I prime. And it's because of the distance and how hard you're hitting it's all the temperature, all that stuff. And so where I was going with this though too is I keep all my cans in the same place I prime. All my stuff, all my primer paints and all that, they're not my paints, all my primers and varnishes and stuff are in my garage in a cabinet. And I prime everything in my garage. So it never changes temperature. Like everything's the same temperature all the time.
All right.
Of course, I shake the bejesus out of all of them when I go to use them, but I never have any issues because I keep everything at the same temperature. So, and the company that had the varnish issue, and it was their army painter. Yes. So it was their was a super ultra matte, and it wasn't matte, and it frosted and glossed and all that. And I saw it firsthand, so I'm not bashing because I've used it. I'm just letting people know, being aware that that product might not be for you because it is.
I've used it. I've had frosting issues. The one I did not have frosting issues is Testers has a dull coat. It's DULLECOTE, I think. The dull coat I thought was amazing. And then, I can't believe I'm saying this, Krylon.
Oh my gosh, I'm glad we're live streaming this. Go
okay, so
keep going.
Krylon has a archival spray that I've used for that purposes. And the archival spray, I got it because it like protected like you from UV and all that jazz. It's good for charcoal drawings and paintings and everything else. I was like, okay, it should be okay. And it was actually pretty amazing. I won't use it for anything else. I'll never use Krylon for anything else except like outdoor protection. But
I just heard it live.
Yeah.
Mr. Anti-Krylon just gave Krylon a thumbs up.
Just the archival protective spray.
One is better than zero, so you just so now you can no longer bash Krylon.
Oh, I can.
You can't now. No. It doesn't work that way.
I can bash the Krylon primer, and if you guys like to use their primer, okay, I'm not going to bash you, but I think I just kind of did.
Yeah.
To me, it's just like, why use such a? The only thing I'm worried about is with the Krylon is that it's such a thick spray that you risk losing a detail.
But if you know how to use it right, it's okay, guys.
It is.
It's all the technique on how to utilize the paints and the sprays that you're using on your models.
And like I just said, I'm concerned about losing the detail. They didn't say you do. And, if you make it work, like my friend Brian Hart, he makes it work. I just won't use it.
So with this contrast, I'm painting a pink core, and it was primed white, not the bone white, the Corax white. And I'm painting it. I painted an arm using Griffhound orange, and I'm painting the face and some feeler tentacle things with the pink, because I believe Kyle was asking me about how it looked on the white, because I know he has his Slanesh for Age of Sigmar. So I want to get some of those colors on here. The thing too, and I'm gonna stress that I can't stress this enough. If you're using the contrast paints, please give it time to dry. I try wet blending some of it, and you can once you understand how it flows, but you're gonna need to give it a lot of time to dry. If you have an hair dryer, then use it. But other than that, you're gonna need it to dry, because the reason you need to throw it on thick so it separates the model on the model itself, and that's where it's going to give you that natural highlight. It's going to flow where it needs to flow, where in the dark spots. It's going to thin out over the texture spots, and it's going to create those natural highlights and that shade. So you need to let it dry. So that's why I'm painting a bunch of different colors on this pink pour, even though he's not going to be pink. So you can see it with different colors when it's done and dry, with the white, just a regular white primer on it. Because a lot of people might not want to use their contrast paints, the air primers, or the Wraithbone or the gray, which is fine. But at least you'll be able to see how it looks. Black primer though with some of this contrast paint ain't gonna help you much. You'll still see the contrast. You'll see how dark it is, but hindsight 2020, it's not going to be what you think it's going to be. Purple.
All right. So Kevin had asked me, I know he's not watching right now because he's at work. It better be. With the Blood Angels Red, and actually a couple of people have asked me what Blood Angels Red looks like over Lead Belcher. So what I've done here, let's see here. That focus well.
There he goes.
It makes a really dark red. I don't think you're going to be getting it's probably not ideal for making a Blood Angel, but if you're looking at doing
Alpha Legion?
well, any of the blues for Alpha Legion.
Yeah.
What's the one with the one I do? Magnus.
The one I do. I love it.
If you're doing like old school Thousand Suns.
Yep. The chanted cherry red.
Yeah.
Admech.
Yeah, or Admech, if you're wanting the metallic. So just pretty much look at any of those colors that we've got that are coming out, these 34 colors. And I'm hoping that looks okay. One screen doesn't look like it's focused well.
You might have to, because there's too much of a wide area, you might have to put some behind it.
Let's do this.
There we go, see?
Yeah. Well, I was looking at the other feed. There we go. That's better. Yeah, there. Might be just my camera. Sorry, guys, if the other computer is not looking so good.
Let me see it real quick.
Or put it in front of your camera.
Let's see here. Let's click on me. Let's see, hold on here.
Yep, yep.
There we go.
Yeah, this my camera is bad. So sorry, camera's bad. Steve's is great. Mine is bad. Even though we have the same camera.
It's not the camera, it's the computer.
Yeah, I got a bad computer, guys. I'm sorry.
It happens. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. So I got two. The Alpha Legion, if you don't know what's prime, do you? Do you?
Maybe.
I would say paint it with the.
No.
Oh, yeah. What do you use?
I'll probably another one.
Okay.
For the Alpha Legion, because I wanted to try my scheme.
Oh, your scheme. His scheme is basically dump it in black paint and pull it out. That's gonna be his scheme.
Yeah, I'm a bad painter.
We're both bad painters. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Woodies?
All right, so
while we're painting, I'm gonna do some shout outs too. That some scheduling things that we have planned in the next week or two.
Oh yeah.
So of course today we're doing the contrast paints here down in Cypress, Texas, outside of Houston, Atomic Hobby Shop. Then Sunday, are we doing the Warzone from our houses together, or are we doing it in one spots, or
what do you think? Should we do it from our houses like this, or should we kind of get everybody here in the studio? Because I know it's far drive for both you and.
Well, not as far as no, not. Yes, not for me.
Yes.
Mine's like 20 to 30 depending on traffic, which ain't bad. Right. I know it doesn't bug me much. But we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out. But we're gonna have a live stream on Sunday at
7 p.m. Central.
We're going to be doing a Q&A for Warzone and announcements and talk about our painting thing on Sunday as well.
Sure.
Okay. And then on that following Monday at 7, I'll be doing another AOS feed with Daniel Dawson from Slambo with a special guest. We don't know exactly who our special guest will be yet. At least I don't know. Maybe I will know. I don't know. But we're going to be talking about tournament prep, about armies, painting, packing, playing, what to expect, what to bring, atmosphere, all of it. Like we're just going to talk about all of it. Because, you know, Warzone is the first part of the circuit for Age of Sigmar.
Oh, yes.
Yes, so it's the big GT. It's the start of the big GT season. I mean, we don't count the LVO. We don't count Adepticon. We don't count Nova. Well, because that's their it's a different atmosphere. So we have for Texas, our first big one is Houston. And so
awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. We're gonna talk about that, and then on Tuesday night we have our FMP show.
Yep.
I might not make it because it is later. That's why I'm doing my Age of Sigmar a little bit separate to keep it focused. I might be or not. Last week I fell asleep doing homework, so shame on me.
Yeah, that's all right. We managed without you, barely.
It's all good. I'm not the show. I'm just a guy.
We're all just guys for the show.
And then let's see after that. Well, we have less than a month, almost a month till Warzone.
We're at 29 days right now for Warzone. Okay. So let's shake this up.
And this Saish purple, when you put it on, it's like black. Until you like pull it out, and then you can start seeing the purple. So I can't wait for it to see how it dries, because that is crazy.
I can say right now that some colors might not look really good over a lead belcher. It's going to be one of those experimentation things.
I did also hear Retributor Gold. It's another one to try.
Okay, that'd be interesting. Yeah, Ronnie was talking about that. For those of you who don't know Ronnie, he's my employee or fellow employee here at the Atomic Hobby Shop, which is a separate entity. So you guys are like, well, what the heck are you guys talking about? It's FNP. It's two different things. We just have a studio set up here for the live shows here at the store. So to deal with any confusion. So I just try to do the aromatic blue over.
I think you gotta let it dry though too. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
People gotta remember, you have to let the model dry to see if it's what you want. Your initial feelings when you put it on something might not come out the same.
Well, I'm gonna let it dry. But I think, because I've seen some people do some, what did you just say? Not Thousand Suns,
Alpha Legion.
Alpha Legion models. They look really good over the lead belcher. But I think those are the clear, the new or not new, but the Forge World clear paints, the clear coats. I think that is what they're doing over the lead belcher. That's why they're gonna. You'll see the difference if you've seen the pictures online. So I don't think every color is still gonna look good over lead belcher, but we'll see.
And this pink core is gonna have so many different colors on it, which is great because it's Pride Week, right? Pride Month or whatever.
Pride Month.
Pride Month.
All month.
And I think for Warzone 2, we're down to a couple tickets left.
For Age of Sigmar.
Yeah. Just a couple.
And I think I've sold one more ticket for, not me, but
Yeah.
we sold one more ticket for Guild Ball, it looked like.
Good.
I need to get on there and double check that. And we had a waiting list for 40K, and we've already started going through filling names in. So we've had a couple of tickets. Two people weren't able to come, so we had to refund their tickets. But we've already started pulling people from the list. So if you've received an email, then your name was pulled because there was an instant mega list of people.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really good.
It's a good thing. I'm very happy about that.
And I know Kyle B sent out an email to all the Age of Sigmar players that have registered or have, we have emails for. That will give you the information we need so we can get things done. And a reminder too of like army list and all that stuff. So this is what I'm talking about. This should be your Alpha Legion.
Oh, whoops, I used the wrong color then.
This is the Alpha Legion one. I'll show you why. Because it has that green tint to it, but it is, I think it's gonna be great.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're not doing a full coat, like top to bottom with these contrast colors, make sure, and you guys will figure it out, but just a warning, make sure you have good brush control and that you're using actually a good brush, because this stuff is this is a little bit thicker than, say, the shades, but it's definitely more or less viscous than more liquidy.
Yeah.
Than base paints.
Yeah. You have control, but at the same time, you gotta remember it. Black is forgiving. When you prime stuff black, it's a forgiving color. When you're doing the whites and the grays, you're gonna see where you messed up. And so you gotta have really, you still have to have brush control for somewhat, but
well, and here's the other good thing about this stuff is that you can. I'm gonna highly recommend that you snag the whatever color primer you're using. Get the base paint that matches that.
Yep.
That way, when you do mess up, you can just kind of thin down the black or the base paint, put it over it, and fix up what you messed up.
Let's do this.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Put it up. Switches to us since we're not having anything here for right now.
Oh, okay,
so
gotcha. That's just a recommendation that you have those base paints ready to go for the inevitable mess up. I mean, I've been doing this for 30 years and I still mess up. And sometimes I deliberately mess up because I'm just like, you know what, I'm going to go in, I've got a cleanup stage. So if I spill over right now, it's fine.
you know what I can't wait to do with this stuff though.
What's that?
When we're talking about mess ups, sometimes your mess ups create art.
Oh yeah.
And so wet blending, yes, everybody has problems with wet blending. I mean, except for if you've been doing it for 30 years, like I have not. I'm still learning my wet blending. But I can't wait to challenge myself and see if I can actually somewhat wet blend these contrast paints together. So the transition is decent enough and it blends right. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of challenges with this. Like I'm doing my Adepticon army. That's kind of what I'm testing right now is a couple of the color schemes or the colors. See if I want to use these contrast paints for that. And if so, I'm going to have a lot of test models to see how this flows, what's the best way to apply, what highlights. It's going to take a little experimenting, but I'm looking forward to that because I like to paint.
Yes.
What I don't like to do, I do know that I don't like to do the base coat. Base coating is the most tedious thing, and it drives me crazy.
Not anymore.
But not anymore. That's why I want to really try these out, because if I can, like I said, it drives me crazy to base coat, but I like doing the detail work. And if this eliminates part of that problem that I have.
I remember prior to Warzone, airways painting their butts off. Not Warzone, I mean LVO.
Yeah.
And we get back from LVO, first live stream, I'm already still painting.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "You're crazy, man." I'm like, "Dude, I can't help myself." Especially because I learned some new techniques when I was there.
Yeah, we learned. Yeah.
Which I'm still trying to freaking master, but hey.
I haven't even tried to master those techniques yet. I mean, after all these years, I guess I've been successful once by accident to wet blend.
Yeah.
It was really more of a hectic, like, oh my God, I'm messing up. And I'm like getting really frantic with my brush. And it's like, oh, hey, that works.
Good information. Without the base paint that matches the primer, it will be a problem to fix if you get messy with the paint.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree.
Hands down. No, but I think overall, Games Workshop stepped up their game. Now, so our fruition of the way when we do our live feeds, me and John really have a lot of connections in some aspect of information, but it's really not even that. It's we understand how Games Workshop works over the years, and they usually are a creature of habit with a lot of things. And so recently they just gave out, they shared what, $5 million of bonuses throughout all their employees or something like that.
5 million pounds.
Pounds, sorry,
Yeah,
pounds.
Yeah.
Which makes it June. So June, we saw that slow stuff. There wasn't much going on in June.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we're getting stuff in June, but there was nothing coming out big like it was supposed to.
Yeah.
So June is usually their dead month.
Yeah, because it starts their fiscal year.
Yeah. And so next is General's Handbook. Hopefully some Iron Jaw books, some good stuff coming.
Yeah, I definitely suspect Iron Jaws are right around the corner. I don't know how soon, but I would say the next 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
Before the end of the year. That's a prediction. I don't have any proof.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I mean, and that's what we do. We mostly predict because it's common sense. Talk about people looking at things, reading things, seeing things, for all game systems, not even Age of Sigmar. So
and Ski and I have been involved in the industry basically for a long time, and we picked up on a lot of the cues that Games Workshop actually puts out there, not only through their product, but in their advertisements, everything that really, if you know how to read it, you can predict in a way what's coming.
Yep.
And one of the things I think a lot of people run into, you get those rumor sites, they're just like, what the F are you talking about? Is because they start going with wish listing.
Yep.
And we're not 100% right.
No.
I said Slanesh was coming out in spring. I was off by, well, I guess I did. I said February.
Yeah.
But to me, spring is February. But so I was off by like 2 months.
Well, and we know most of the stuff is coming. Like I can't stress that enough. We know 90% of stuff that we talk about, we know it is coming. We just never know the dates. We never know when, because Games Workshop changes things so many times when it comes to their releases, and and that's fine. But we know when it comes out, we're like, yep, we knew about that.
And as much as we want to wish list,
yeah,
it doesn't do us any good, because it kind of ruins our reputation if we sit there and wish list and like, oh yeah, not wish list, but say, talk about our wish list. It's like, oh no, Vulcan is coming out next month, blah, blah, blah. I heard from a guy, and his brother's sister's aunt's uncle.
That his dog works at the production plant and saw it firsthand.
Yeah, and all it does is just kind of ruin our reputation. So, that's why we always say, take it with a bit of salt.
Well, like the paints, I knew about this before.
Yeah.
Almost a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that was just because I was told that, hey, there's some new paints coming. And I was like, oh, onesies and twosies. I'm like, no. There's a whole range coming. I didn't know it was contrast. I didn't know it was this. Like, I just knew there was new paints coming.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. And what I didn't know is also the extent. For me, I thought, oh, it's just going to be contrast paints. And then, we got the little tidbit, hey, by the way, there's some Forge World's getting their paints back. We're like, oh, let's report that. And then Air's getting redone completely and expanded. It's like, oh my God, you guys are killing us.
Yeah.
So definitely, I appreciate my leakers.
I don't even say leakers, because they're informational and they don't give away detail. That's the best part of our.
Yeah, that is true. They don't sit there and tell us all the tidbits. I remember working for Games Workshop when they revamped the paints that last time with the base coats, and they renamed it to shades.
Yep.
And all that.
It was foundations.
Foundations, yes.
Yep.
And we all had to sign a non-disclosure agreement, and we had a big 2 or 3 day meeting over it. And we were all super excited. And then, sure enough, come Monday or Tuesday, somebody violated that NDA. And next time we had our meeting, there was somebody not there.
Well, and the big thing too is it's one thing going into detail and spilling the beans. For me, it's ComSec, the military. But it's another thing going, hey, military has great encryption, and it's just going to get better.
Yeah.
Like they're not giving away nothing, but if you can look through the lines, which means they might be getting some new stuff coming for them, or it's stuff like that. You gotta look through it and take it with a grain of salt and go, okay, what makes sense? What doesn't make sense?
So I'm gonna put up on the camera here. You don't have to click on it. Yeah, you click on that.
There we go.
There we go. So we got this is the Blood Angel Red. It's now dry over Lead Belcher.
Let me try something real quick.
It actually looks.
Let me try something. Okay, we can't move that. Let's do something.
Oh, it was looking good.
I want to see.
See, the quality's good.
I want to see.
Don't yell at me.
I'm not yelling at you.
See, look at the picture.
Click on here. Try it now. Too close. There we go. Look at that.
All right. Fine. Whatever. Your mom.
Okay. That works.
Bear with us, guys.
Okay, you can talk.
Okay, so anyways, Blood Angel Red is on obviously this model over Lead Belcher. Dries pretty nice. I would not say that is Blood Angel, but because I think somebody was asking me, Kevin, I think was asking about what it looks like over Lead Belcher. Nah, I wouldn't make that a Blood Angel, but Exorcists or Thousand Suns. There's a couple other Royalist chapters that have a metallic red look, or just your own. And then this was the Aethermatic blue. I was thinking, this is what I want to use for
Alpha Legion?
Alpha Legion, but I was wrong. But I would recommend, it's not zooming in or focusing. Sorry, guys. Let's try. There we go. It's a little bit better. Anyways, I did not want to use, or you might want to use a different one or whatever the color was. I can't think of it off my top of my head, but the Thousand Legion or for the Alpha Legion, there's a air paint or a clear from Forge World. So it's not great, but that's still showing you what the contrast paints will do. You'll get a nice metallic light green, and that's with a thick coat. I could probably slap a second thick coat on there and it would look good. And also you notice the arm right there and his other arm, that is the Apothecary White. So not all that great looking on Lead Belcher. So you're going to find some model or some colors that just don't look good. So just experiment. All right.
Does that look?
Probably good.
Right there?
That looks good enough.
Because the boy was from that line, so it's all right. They don't need to see our ugly mugs. Okay, so he showed off that. I'm going to show you off this pink core. So this pink core has all kinds of colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 11 colors. So I put 11 different colors on this little pink core. Let's see here. Get the focus. There we go.
How do you want that?
Yeah, just grab that. Let's see how. Autofocus. There we go.
Is he flipping this off?
Oh, you know it. You know it. So you've got a pink in there, you've got an orange in there, you've got a purple in there, 2 purples. I get a better.
That's good.
There. Yellows, greens, blues, a brown, and then we flip them around. A better grip on this little guy.
That's nice.
So I just want to show you, like, you can blend decently, depending on where it's all at. But it shows you on regular Corex white all the different colors that you're able to do. Now I'm going to grab a white model and I'm going to show you the Alpha Legion color that I keep recommending people to use. And it's going to be, I'm going to put it on a Sigmarine. Let me get that white Sigmarine.
While he's doing that, here is white on white.
White on white.
I just put on the shoulder pads, the arms, and the helmet. Just so you can see it. It's basically Celestra Gray. They say Apothecary White. It's just another version of Celestra Gray, or it's the contrast version, I would say. So I really like it. I don't know about this color scheme. I'm going to have to probably revamp it. But you can see, and even with a couple spillovers on those shoulder pads, I can just go back in with some white scar and touch that up and then hit the Apothecary white over that again. And that blue is the Leviathan blue. I really like that blue.
Which Leviathan blue is named after a creature from Age of Sigmar, the Deepkin.
And there's actually another paint. I don't think it's one of these contrast paints, but it's the other part of that name, that Achilleon or Achilleon. Oh, right there.
This is the Alpha Legion color.
Oh, okay, there you go.
That I'm working on.
All right.
I'm just gonna do a shoulder pad on white.
I really like that Leviathan blue. Holy crap!
Oh, look at that.
Oh my
Before
gosh!
I show it off. Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh!
So, let's see here. If it focuses good, I'd be happy. Come on, focus. There we go. So in the picture, it says, look at the video though. In the video, it's showing more blue.
Yeah.
In life, it's more green.
Yeah.
So be wary. So some of these pictures are kind of false because that does look blue. I don't know, Neos, does that look blue to you on the Sigmarine shoulder pad? Because I'm using Achillean green, and we're looking at it, and it's a green tint.
Yeah, definitely green tint.
And I'm talking Alpha Legion green.
Yeah, I agree.
So if that does look blue to you guys, I apologize. And I'm just going to show you how I slap some of the sides of the shoulder pad real quick while we're here. We'll grab this palette just in case. I'm going to turn him around. All right, so we're going to slap it. Actually, we'll use a shield. We'll slap it on a shield. Get a better. There we go. That. All right, load up my brush. Get a good spot. Load. I'm just going to flop it on here. Now, I am painting not the way I usually paint because I'm not set up the way I would like to be set up for a studio for painting wise.
Same here.
So I'm trying to adjust so you guys can see. So it might not be the way I am comfortable doing it, but I always suggest if you're going to live stream painting or anything, set it up for your comfort, not the viewers. I hate to say that because once you're comfortable, your viewers will be comfortable. All right, I'm just slapped it on there. The other side. And then tomorrow here at Atomic, we are doing a contrast paint
contest.
Is it a contest?
Well, it is a contest. We will have a painting, two different painting contests. One's at 1 o'clock. I think the other one's at 3. And you'll be able to test out all the contrast paints. And I mean, it's basically $10. You get 2 free miniatures, and you get to sit there and have fun learning how to paint. All right. So,
and you don't have to just use contrast paints, correct?
Right. But if you are coming, bring your own brushes and your own paints. We'll have a few brushes on hand, but really you need to bring your own. We're just providing you the miniatures and the paints to use.
Contrast paints.
Contrast paints. Yes, contrast paints.
Because I'm going to be bringing down a bunch of paints for me to use.
Oh, I got you.
So, I mean, I am going to be using a lot of the contrast paints because I even have an hair dryer that I forgot to bring today. I was running little behind myself.
No worries.
But I will bring that and my extension cord tomorrow.
Hey, I write precisely when I intended to.
Hey, Mr. Gandalf.
So we're doing that in front of the screen.
All right, so here we go. Again, this is going to show blue versus what it actually looks like, which is really odd. Contrast, right? It's a contrast. So let's see here. Yeah, it shows more blue.
Jesus. Sorry, guys. I'm just.
No, look at this. I think it's drying, but. Excuse me.
All right, I'm sold on contrast paints, by the way. Before I even looked at this one for ski, look at the blues on how that blue settles on that and the white.
Get more light on here.
Oh my goodness, this is awesome. I might have to change my blue to that. This is almost like, which one was this?
Achillean.
This is almost like Thousand Sun blue. Or the Ariman blue, one of the
Maybe
two.
Armin, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, which I think was the other color I was looking at doing. I might have to change my, damn it, I had to prime another bottle. Actually, no, this actually works. Actually, I think I'm sold on the color. I was going to do Leviathan blue, but I think the Achillean
Yep.
green is going to be my color.
And I'm working on getting another camera. So for the top down, by the way.
Cool.
But yeah, that's an amazing green / blue.
So I'm sold as I'm looking, and you guys won't be able to see too much of the detail on the camera. It's kind of hard to see, but the apothecary white, it does settle in on the. I'm going to try it on gray here in a little bit. It does settle in, and it does once it dries, it does look white, like an off white. I can easily see where just a couple brush strokes, and I can easily put in a little bit of white scar just for the edge highlighting. But really, this contrast paint just saved me, I don't know, 2 or 3 steps, because now I don't have to base coat and then, prime, base coat, wash, and then clean up base coat. So I'm skipping over like 3 steps.
So is it like saving money, switching to Geico or something like that?
It is like switching to Geico.
Yeah. Oh.
Except I'm not saving 15%. I'll tell you though that this very basic paint job took me approximately 10 minutes to get one guy done.
When I get at dry time, you're going to want to let your paints dry for at least 30 minutes if you're not air drying them.
Yeah.
Let's use the black real quick.
So I got about 45 minutes, 50 minutes. I can open right at noon. So I'm going to try the apothecary white on.
So do we know what's on pre-order this weekend?
This weekend is General's Handbook. And boy, there was something else.
Of course, the Warlords edition.
Yeah, it's the Warlords edition.
Okay. The only reason I keep bringing it up, especially with John, is I missed out on the first time they did that because we didn't really know about it until later-ish. Like it wasn't promoted like it is now.
Yeah.
And so I'm pushing it because again, it's a great thing to do for each Sigma.
There is something else coming out. I just cannot think of it off the top of my head.
Is it a tabletop book? Is it a Blood Bowl, Necromunda? Sigmar, 40K, Titanicus, Black Library. I'm gonna keep saying something, and it's gonna hit.
It's gonna drive me crazy. I'm like, stop saying.
I know, right?
All right, so let's try. Let's see here. All right, so I've got a model here. He's primed.
Anyway,
Standard Mechanicum gray. And I'm just going to start applying different colors because I want to see what they look like over the gray.
Yep. And I'm painting the cloth on this Sigmarine black with the wash, sorry, the contrast. And I want to, because I think it's good. I wonder how the black's going to look if I put the white over top of it once it dries.
Well, I can tell you this much just from testing these out is that you're going to want a lighter color for these contrasts as your primer. Because even as this gray, it still does not look good for some contrast paints. So I think the darker colors will be fine, but the lighter the color, I'm going to say you're going to want the lighter the primer.
Yep. Or you're going to want to get that color that you want as a highlight / layer paint.
Yeah.
And paint it on after you do your dark base color. Plus, the cool thing too with contrast too, if you're learning how to highlight and you don't know what to highlight, base it in a contrast paint. Prime it white, even gray, especially when they're new colors. Let it sit and dry, and you'll see where the highlights are, like where to apply your highlights. It will show you. And you can go back in there with another color and do more highlights. Kind of like pre-shading before you do flesh tones.
Yeah.
You figure out or source lighting, basically.
Yeah, I don't know, what the Waywatcher Green, since that's going away, it might look good on that Alpha Legion color. But I tell you, if you're doing Alpha Legion, I would say that the Killian Green, however you pronounce that, is probably on white is going to be your go-to. Or if there's the Forge World, I think it's a layer or an air, or sorry, I'm not sure which one they were using. Because right now we're just doing contrast. Lost my train of thought. Definitely, though, I'm going to reiterate this again. Definitely look at doing, if you got lighter colors or brighter colors, if you're going to be using that as a base coat, you're definitely going to want to be looking at that being on a brighter primer or undercoat.
And if it's too light, when you do a contrast paint, go back over it with the exact same color after it dries.
Yeah, I mean, like right now I'm experimenting. I just put on Nazdrag yellow over gray. And it gives it kind of a weird yellow-green look. Once it dries, I'll put it on the screen. Oh, as soon as I stretch my legs, ow, ow. Oh, getting too hot for this. Oh man, I'm definitely gonna have to start looking at doing more white models, or they're probably not
Wraithbone. Yep. Yeah. What's funny about this though too? I've been doing this type of painting for so long. You prime it white, you get a color, you water it down to like so thin with either water or mediums, and you're doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
This is more designed, pigment wise, and whatever recipes they use to do it to do this work. But this concept it's not new. People have been using this forever.
Yeah.
It was a lot of hard work getting it to this level.
Yeah, you don't like, you're not changing, we're not like revolutionizing techniques, we're just revolutionizing the paint.
Yep.
Not us, but Games Workshop.
Yeah.
So far, but just as an experiment, which means I have to buy this paint now because I just realized I cracked open this, but call it manager privilege.
No, it's part of the contrast set.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Or I can just start it with mine because I'm gonna have to get them anyway.
Okay.
Because it's the set. I can't not have the set.
You're right. Gotcha. Trying out this Wraithbone. And the main reason why we're showing you guys all these other colors, other primers, is mainly because we haven't got the the Wraithbone primer yet, but or the Gray Seer one. But you've seen video after video of people already showing off with the Wraithbone Wraithbone and Gray Seer. So we're trying to show you some of the other primers, what works well, what works doesn't. But just because like I don't like the metallic look does not mean you might love it. So
yeah.
I'm trying different colors on there.
And that's what it's going to be about. It's about figuring out what works, what doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, you guys might end up like, oh my God, that color's amazing. Or I'm just like, whoa.
Got to start over.
But, everybody's got a different taste when it comes to colors. People might not like my simplistic color schemes.
Let's see here. I'm going to show off the black. It's starting to dry. Let's see here. Autofocus. Go.
All right, so while you're drying, let me paint one of these Sigmar.
Let's see this. Oh, I can't. Yeah. Left-handed awkwardness, Let's see. Focus, focus, focus. There we go. There we go. So it's still drying. You can see it, up on the cowl, his robes, but you can see through it. So it's a very thin black. But again, if you want it darker, you just let it dry and go back over it. Contrast paints would be great for match painting too, because it forces you to stop.
Yeah.
And get the mix on. So.
Right now, I'll show you as soon as it's done, as soon as I get this last shoulder pad done. Dark Angel Green over Standard Mechanical Gray. See what that looks like. You guys are going to be finding that these things are absolutely amazing. So just get ready. You guys are going to, once you start painting.
I found my new Thousand Sons.
Perfect.
Like Zeech, that's all. Yeah, do all the demons like this.
Heck yeah. It's annoying. An annoying color out there. Oh.
And then you just do the detail work, like you take the teeth and the eyes and the tongue but all the skin is just different colors. Oh yeah. All right, switch cameras for you.
You're fine. So there we go. Focus. It's still wet, but this is the Dark Angel Green over Gray, Standard Mechanicum Gray. So once this dries, I'll show you guys again. But I'd say it's a little hard to see. To me, visually, or right here in my face, it's definitely green. It's like it's a Dark Angel Green, for sure.
And that's the best thing about this is the cameras and photos that we've seen. Playing with this stuff twice now, they don't do justice.
Yeah.
I mean, even on the palettes, pulling them out on a palette is different than what it is on a miniature. Everything changes between how you perceive it, and it's all about the light and your visual and the colors you use and what's the backdrop and what's the primer and what's this and that. All of it changes everything. So
yeah. So you really are going to want to experiment before you dive in. If you've been painting Space Wolves for the past 20 years and Space Wolves, I just need this, this, and this. I'm going to suggest that before you dive in, you test these paints out with the different color primers, because you might get a better looking model than what you've ever done.
Which is the lightest brown or lightest flesh?
I don't know. That's kind of light.
Let's do dark oath. Let's just do that.
And coming back to this marine, it focuses in. There we go.
Now look at that.
That is the Black Templar over Leadbelcher, and even over some of the red that I splashed onto the rifle, you can't see it. But even if it did shine through, all I would have to do is get a bit of dab of Leadbelcher, slap it on that area, and then hit it with the Black Templar again. I'm not a fan of metallic looking armor, but that's really snazzy. I don't know. No, gotta stick to my color scheme. I got a plan, gotta stick to the plan.
You know what plans are good for?
What?
Not happening.
Well,
they're just good to help prepare you. That's all they're for. Because you know once a plan starts to go, like, okay, let's execute the plan, it never works out.
That is true. And after seeing that Achillean green,
yep.
I'm already thinking I might have to sacrifice this blue that I'm doing and go with that instead.
Heck yeah. You know, I had an epiphany just a minute ago that I feel like I have deja vu right now. Like I've already done this with you, talked about it, all this. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like this day's already happened.
It is kind of, yeah. Dang it. Why do you have to say that? Now I'm going to think about it all day. Some sort of time loop.
I know, right? We're stuck.
Please don't let it be a Groundhog Day. I like you, but I don't think I could handle a Groundhog Day.
Actually depends.
Oh, I guess,
yeah. If it starts off good,
yeah,
it doesn't matter. If it starts out crappy every day, then that changes everything.
That is true.
Because like us painting in the first thing in the morning, I'm okay with that. Like
yeah.
whatever, start the day like this, cool. They're like, all right, today we're gonna try this. Then the next time, oh, we're gonna do this instead.
That is true. We can go through every iteration.
I could go next door. I want to talk about that.
Oh yeah, we can go next door and do some CrossFit.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, right next door is a CrossFit gym. And all day long we hear weights dropping and people, yeah, clapping and
which is cool. Hey, fitness. Good job,
cool.
guys.
Yeah. There's definitely some very fit people over there.
Yes, there is. Oh man, I am. Ooh, I'm loving this flesh. This might have changed. Ooh, I don't know.
Wow, there's a big difference between the Corax White. Well, I'm still waiting for this to dry, but between the Corax White and the Wraithbone, looking what the Apothecary White looks like on top of it, that's pretty dramatic difference.
Now, I do notice with some of these contrasts, you still got to treat it somewhat like a wash, where it does pool in some areas. Maybe overpool is the best term, I should say. So you might have to clean some spots up before it dries, of course. Some of it is okay because that's the effect that they're going for, where it pools. But some areas the paint might catch, but you can manipulate it. So not like a wash where you have to get in there with your brush and soak it up, and so it doesn't hurt it, I guess the best way. Leave that weird marking. This one you can actually manipulate it and move it around. But man, I'm in love with this skin tone. I might start a new Age of Sigmar army.
Yep. You don't have to click on the screen. So here is the green. See what it focuses. So it's definitely dark, and on our end it's really super dark green. So just be aware, like we said before, when you guys are experimenting with your favorite color scheme, you love Dark Angels, being a loyalist Space Marine chapter. Just be aware that that green might settle differently on that primer. And we're going to say it over and over and over and over again. Holy crap. We're going to say holy crap too a couple times. Wow, which one was that?
Dark Oath.
Wow, that is a nice flesh tone.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait till it dries.
Heck yeah.
Because I wonder if you could do that and then add like a white on top of it to kind of like make it paler.
Oh yeah. Go over it with like Katie and Flesh Tone or
I don't
something.
know, just with the white.
Or
with the white.
oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Let that dry and put the apothecary white over it.
Because then that might be my new Deathkin skin. Because I'm having a lot of trouble with that skin. To get it to where I like it. Because it doesn't look bad. Let's see here. Let's see. Do better. Let's see. Here we go. Focus. What does the Griffin Hound orange look like? Do you think it will look better with Gray Seer or the Wraithbone?
Well, we can try. Let me get this color that I'm doing right now on. And then I will.
Okay, so this guy is, I just used the Dark Oath. That's what this is on him. Oh, that's gonna be awesome, especially for Warcry. Oh gosh, Warcry, because there's so much flesh.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. You said Griffin, huh? Griffin. Yeah. Griffin Hound was the first color I used, which was his arm. I'm gonna show off this guy real quick.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna use the base paint. Go ahead and get the base paint down on and model.
Okay, so his arm with the flames. Here we go. Is the Griffin Hound orange. So if you can see that. Flip them around so you can see the other side of them. Out of focus, come on. There we go, there we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so that arm with the flames out of the fingers, that is the Griffin Hound orange. Thinking about maybe if I ever do a Demon Zeech army, do all their skins like this, and then just hit the details, teeth, tongue, sword, jewels, all that stuff. The whole army, it'd be so obnoxious. Awesome. Now, let me show you this black again, since it's almost dried on the Stormcast. Now, you can definitely see the highlights. You can actually see the shading. You can actually see the texture that the model has on it with the contrast. And that's just the black. That's one layer of the contrast paint. Now, back here, it's a little bit, there's still more stuff drying. That's all it is. So once it dries completely, I'm going to throw the white over top of this black just to see. It might turn out horribly, like epic fail, but I want to see how it transitions.
All right, so once the base paint's dry, because like I said, we did not have primers just yet. They're arriving today, but I've got the base paints of the two. As soon as these dry on here, we will try out which color was it they wanted us to try? The
Griffin Hound.
Griffin Hound on the Gray Seer and the Wraithbone as soon as this dries. And just keep in mind that it still might be a slightly different look because I'm putting both those base paints over a gray. Well, oh, never mind. Gray plastic, standard mechanical gray. It should be okay. But it would be just a very slight dulling, maybe.
Gilliman Flesh. I don't know which one I like more. I mean, I guess I'm liking the other one more because I'm not a big fan of Gilliman. Mm-hmm. But I am buying a couple of those glazes. I think one of his glazes today to stock up before they go away.
And right now, I'm going to tell you guys, I think my first initial impression is the apothecary white over white is really a good idea. That over the Corax, like Corax white. I might buy another can of Corax white. I'll see. I'm going to test it out with the Wraithbone whenever that comes in, or maybe the gray sear. So Wraithbone looks a little bit more, a tiny bit of a tan in there, a very, very super bleach bone. Super bleach bone. Like it's just a shade or two above white. But actually the gray sear might be the better one for me to go with. I don't know. There's too many decisions. Too many decisions.
It feels like every time you start learning how to paint a technique, get things down, and a curveball gets thrown at you with, oh, hey, all these new paints now.
Yep. Let's try.
And I like how they did Games Workshop. They put it on all the Marines. You know, they tested on all the Marines. Armor.
Yeah.
It's better to see it with the skins, in my opinion. A lot of it is because the skin, it has that texture. Like, okay, you can visually armor.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing against it, but it's easy to be like, okay, cool. Here's a piece of armor. I painted it this color. It turns out this color. Great. Rinse and repeat. But if you saw flesh, a green, you're going to see that definition of that character, and it's going to transition. You're going to see it, I think, better. But let's see here. So I'm using Gilman flesh on this blue board, which kind of fits with Gilman's blue, but he's not blue. So
I put, it's still drying, but I put on, I check the time. Okay, about 20 minutes. The Flesh Terror red over the gray, the standard Mechanicum gray. So I'll show you that here as soon as it dries.
So we got about 10 minutes and we'll probably cut it.
Well, I've got to cut it.
Well, we got about 10 minutes. I still got things I got to do today.
What? This is all you got to be here for.
No, I got homework to do.
What?
Yeah, team project, phone interviews. I got to write 2 scripts.
I take no proofs. Oh man,
That's my teacher.
I got primer on my shirt.
Ah.
Maybe that guy today.
Yep, you were that guy today. So let's see, this is dried. So let me show you this model. For the most part, it's dry. I'm going to show you the flesh again that has been drying. It's not 100% dry. I mean, just look at that though. Again, the camera color versus what I'm seeing are two, I mean, they still look amazing. But just, you can see where it's still wet. That's what they recommend about 30 minutes to let it just sit and dry. So you're like, oh, I got to paint 400 Zangors. Well, do all the skin. By the time you get back to your first one, after the 400 Zangors, then you can start with your next color.
Yep.
Plus, it doesn't take much. God, that is amazing. I think I'm going to do it. It's going to be fun. Okay, so that was the Dark Oath. This is the Gilman flesh off of Blue Terror, or Blue Whore. And this is all on Corex White, by the way, not on Wraithbone. Now, the Corex White will give it a little bit more color, not much.
All right, so we're letting that dry.
Now, then go back to the black. All right, so I'm going to put some white on this guy.
All right, so
You're good. Can you hand me the white?
up there?
Yeah, so let's check this out.
All right, so here, it's still wet, so give it a moment. But that is first on that shield is the Flesh Terror red straight on standard Mechanicum gray. And when I flip over, you'll see what the rest of it looks like. On that front part is that Griffhound orange that you were asking about, Seb. That is over the Wraithbone on the front. Keep in mind it's still wet. On the back here is the same color, the Griffhound orange over the gray sear. And then that's what the shield looks like with the Flesh Terror red. So once this dries, I'll put it back up on screen so you can have a good idea what to look for. But initially, I can barely, I would say that the gray sear is just slightly darker. So if you're looking for that darker color, then yeah, I guess warmer.
Warmer, yeah.
For me, I like the same brighter and darker. But if you want to be all correct,
Artsy.
Warmer and colder.
Yeah. Different temperature, tone temperatures. Because I'm no professional artist. I'm telling you that right now, disclosure. This is over years of watching other people and experimenting and doing that kind of stuff. So,
and as I said a little bit ago, make sure you shake the heck out of these paints. So just put these up here while we get the camera off. Still drying. Here is Black Templar over white and Black Templar over black. Lead sculpture. So you can get a pretty good look. One's a little bit more flat than the other, but it's still good. But that's what you expect from the undercoat.
And we'll just throw up Zengar. Then you got the pink guy, well, the blue guy, but he's no longer blue. And you got this way. Yeah. Yeah, and then let's see, does it focus better? Come on, camera, focus. I don't want to focus too many things on the screen here. Not really. Yeah. Once I get that new camera, this will become so much. The focus will be better. Now I put the white over the black. It is drying. But of course, it's going to be like a gray.
So yes, you can layer contrast paints, guys.
And this is almost dry, except for the deeper spots.
One thing I noticed is that this doesn't, let me see, I popped the camera right. I have noticed that this, when this does pool up, it doesn't have the, I don't know, bad pooling that you see with shades. Notice that it looks a little different.
Yeah, you might get some pooling, but you could fix it. It doesn't leave that.
I should say it doesn't look splotchy.
Yeah, it doesn't leave that like stain.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, speaking of stain, make sure you are wearing an old shirt, or it's clothes that you don't mind, because this stuff will stain more than any of the other colors.
Aren't these water-based?
Yes, but they will stain, they said. All right, so let me get on here. It's almost dry. Still looks shiny.
I wonder if the light, because it's giving a nice sheen to it. Let's see.
Yeah. It might be the light on the other side.
Yeah.
But it is dry except for down there at the corner.
That's all right. No, well, let's see. Yeah. There's two of us. Okay. Turn it. Oh, I definitely like everything here.
I know. It's time to fix up the studio here. So yeah, that's fine. That's better.
Better.
So that is Wraithbone with the Griffhound Orange. And then here's the other side, the Gray Seer with the Griffhound Orange. So not sure which one looks better. Really, it's going to come down to you. What you want. Really, it'll come down to what you want the rest of the army to look like.
Well, showed them all the paints, showed them some little combos on regular primer.
Yep.
I'm sold. I know that for sure.
Yes. I'm definitely sold. Going to take some tinkering, but I'm definitely sold on this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll just have to. We might have to use some of these for our 24-hour stream.
Oh yeah, I've already thought about that. Like the Flesh Terror Red, I was looking at for the main body.
Unfortunately, I don't have any contrast to what I'm doing, so I have to bring up my metallic gooiness.
Yes.
I can't. I'm excited.
Unless you practice the.
I'm not doing non-metallics. I am not doing. No. I'm not ready for that yet.
We'll get it up on the FMP website, but somebody else had uncovered where if I can get their name and I'll give them the credit, definitely. But a 9-step non-metallic metallic gold with the contrast paints and the new base paints and layers, and it looks freaking amazing. Yeah, we'll try to get that up there, but yeah, I wouldn't. No. You just do the metallic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's gonna be fun. I mean, it's gonna be won't be as bad as we thought it was gonna be. I don't think.
No, and what I was worried about was how these contrast paints lay down and compared to shades. Or shades, like if you don't get the full coverage right away, you'll get the weird streak lines where you can see where you put down. Like, okay, this half I did first, and now I'm doing this half. It does not blend well. This stuff looks like I can put on a thick coat.
Check them out.
And so I think I'm going to go with the Flesh Terror Red for the main body.
Okay. Yeah, whatever you want to do. But look at that.
Oh my
skin
God.
tone.
That is like perfect.
Yeah, like
Holy
that's
crap.
That's skin tone done.
Yeah.
Like that. I'm not even stressing. Like that was my biggest stressor. Was this?
That's awesome.
Like.
This is amazing. I'm 100% sold on this. Am I going to buy the entire line right now? No. But am I going to buy probably about 10? Yeah. Most certainly. Most certainly.
Oh yeah, big handful.
Yeah. I'd say up to a dozen of these I will buy. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. So that's what we got going on. I mean.
Yeah. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, this month is going to go quick though.
Yes.
So, all right, guys. Well, we appreciate everybody that has chimed in today. All the conversations that we were talking about. I'm glad you came and watched the paints. Patreon supporters, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Amazing to have people out here willing to watch us and help fund us, basically getting equipment and whatnot. We'll get the studio a little bit better than it is.
We've talked about that. We've got a couple of ideas to come in here in the next month or so and revamp how the studio looks and how the setup is for streaming. We've got a new computer on its way whenever Ben gets to working on it. So a lot of changes are coming.
Yeah, a lot of changes.
We want to up the quality a little bit more professional since we're now picking up more and more viewers as we go.
That we have our separate streams coming. I know battle reports are on the rise.
Yep.
AOS, I'm gonna try to do some battle reports. But right now it's painting, prepping, Warzone. That's cool for me.
Yeah.
Those are my 3 things right now.
I know sometime soon, probably right after Warzone, that our FNP or FN Pro team will be, we're working out the mechanics of them doing a list analysis. Like you guys will submit a list and they can, since we all pretty much have every army, we'll look at actually testing your list out and or at least giving you a breakdown, like, well, we would recommend this, this, and this, you know, something a little bit more professional. We got 5 guys that travel around, some of the top players in the U.S. They might not have the super big names, but people are starting to recognize the FN Pro team. Several of the members are really people like, oh crap, look at these guys sneaking up on us. So
Yeah.
we got that coming. Ski's got his AOS that's gonna be probably on Mondays.
Yes, Mondays.
And then I'm gonna start so we have our Tuesday show, and then sometime, I'm not sure when, but probably Wednesdays, I'm gonna start probably a paint show, and especially when I go paint and build show when I go into my Adepticon army.
Yep. And there'll be times we might do some stuff together on the painting too, because I want to jump in on that as well.
Absolutely.
But on that, yeah, thank you all so much. Oh, when is the next John painting video?
The next John painting video, probably real soon. This weekend, Jonathan is going to take a look at my computer and get it set up for streaming for Twitch and all that jazz, like we were doing before, since the studio computer's down. So we'll get that up and running, and hopefully within the next few weeks, because I've got a couple projects that we're working on, and it's probably what the computer we're going to use for July 6th. July 6th, we're doing the 24-hour video of us painting. Some people will be playing some games, but it'll mainly be a paint-a-thon, where we're going to be have a donation button so we can generate funds for a veterans group. 100% goes to the veterans group, and then that army that we're going to be painting in that 24-hour period is actually going to be auctioned off at Warzone Houston for another charity.
Yep. And we decide, are we going to disclose ticket sales Sunday? Like what the cost is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. On Sunday, we'll talk about if you want to buy tickets online, we'll figure out how to work that out. If you want to buy some auction tickets for that, we'll go from there.
Yeah. A lot of things coming this month.
Yeah.
Well, this month, next month.
Yeah.
The next couple months.
The next 30 some odd days is going to be hectic.
Yes, but it's gonna be exciting. So
yeah.
Again, thank you all, patrons, everybody. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, watch us. We're gonna have a lot more videos going. And yeah, I guess that's it.
See you guys later.
Take it easy, guys.